Hi guys, welcome back. We're just finishing off our peas here in the micro allotment. They've come through really well, and it's time to give them a protection from those pesky birds in the tree that's just above us here. So I've got some pea sticks here, and they can be almost anything. These are old birch twigs. They're really good because they're bent over, and it's a birch that I had taken down during the autumn, and all we're doing here is we're just sliding them in place. And the effect of pea sticks is that as the birds try to land, they come in contact with their wings or feathers, and basically birds don't like that. So you can use whatever you want to use really, but there you go, there's my peas protected. The tendrils now will climb through those, and then I'll eventually pop a net on here, and by summer these peas will be up here and we can be picking pods fresh for our lunch. But the other main concentration of this particular video is creating a hardy annual border. And really, hardy annuals we class as wildflowers. So why would you want wildflowers in a vegetable allotment plot? And the answer to that one is quite simple: because it will encourage wildlife to come in and help to pollinate and give homes for wildlife. So right at the top of my plot, I've taken a border out, and as you can see, I've separated it into quarters, and effectively I've got 2 or 3 different wildlife seeds I'm going to be using. I do have a wildflower mixture, so a wildlife mixture there. There's also a cornflower mixture, and I've got a butterfly mixture as well, which I'm going to sow into these beds. Now, if you've not got very much money and you want to create a really nice decorative display, there's a little bit of work involved with weeding and things like that, but for £1 you can create a wonderful display through the summer months and encourage, you know, wildlife to come into your garden space. Hardy annual, that term means that it will withstand frost, so you can do a sowing before Christmas, August to October really. You might have to put a fleece over some bits of it, but at the end of the day it will get through the winter, or you can do it at this time of year, it's not a problem. So we're going to create our hardy annual border to encourage wildlife to come into our garden. So I'm going to sow the wildflower mix to begin with, and I've just literally separated the plot with sand. You can do it more randomly if you want to. I've done it quite formally here, it's not a problem. But let's have a look at the way you actually create your hardy annual border. So, as we did with the vegetable seeds, effectively we take our cane and we make some seed drills. So we pop the cane in the ground. Now, they do need a fair amount of spacing, so I normally use 2 hands, and 2 hands in between gives you a decent sort of space. So there you go, and 2 hands in between. Now, there's no fertiliser at all in this plot because they don't like it at all. So, and it's like dust, to be honest, folks. Now, as we did with the veg, we're just going to give that seed drill a nice little drink. Thumb over the end, remember, so you can control the direction of the water. And then you might need to re-establish them because it's so dusty, but these seeds will love this. They love really depleted soil. So we just re-establish them again. And there they are. Then we take our seed packet out. Remember, give it a good flick. Open that packet up. Pop our seeds into our hands. Remember, when we're not using it, just turn that packet over, and then quite thinly, so down those drills. At this bottom end. There you go, you just literally brush the soil over the top. And the reason why you're sowing drills is so that when the weeds start to come through, you'll know which are the weeds and which are the plants that you actually want to keep. Because remember, wildflowers actually are weeds in some people's eyes, but I think they're a beautiful plant, a beautiful range of plants that you actually grow. Then we just give them a good water in. So give them a good water over. And that will take around about 14 to 28 days to actually come through for you. And then the final thing obviously is to actually pop a label in so you know what you've done and when you've done it. So we pop the label in there. Now the next block along, if you're doing distinct species, because these are mixed packets, then you would sow them at a different angle. So effectively what I'll do for this bed is I'll sow my wildflower mix that way across the bed, and that way I can differentiate between the two blocks. So there you go, there's your hardy annual border. It's as simple as that. Takes a little bit of weeding, but by July you'll have plants that are up here and looking absolutely fantastic and encouraging bees, butterflies and ladybirds into your micro allotment to help you deal with pests and to get your plants pollinated. So if you can do, on lockdown, buy yourself a packet of wildflower seeds, okay, and get your wildflower seeds sown. Keep tuning in guys, keep gardening. We're all doing really well during the lockdown process. See you next video.